Welcome back to episode 45 of Dialogue Tree. I'm Matthew Peterson, and I am joined, as always, by Daniel. Bitches be like, you, wow, bitch, what? Speak. Spit it the fuck out. What do you want to say? I'm listening. We're all waiting and you're doing nothing. This is nonsense. You can't even use words anymore. Go the hell outside for once. God damn. Get a job or something. God damn. Padilla.
Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás?
How you doing,
Dude,
Daniel?
that was fucking good. I really had to. Had to like hold my laughter in there. I struggled for that. Was that like a creepy pasta, like a copy pasta or something? That was pretty good.
Owen sent a video of Bayonetta saying that.
Oh, I remember that. The video that
I think it is. Yeah.
The video that I almost like haven't heard during one of my meetings for work.
Yeah.
The video that I almost played during one of my meetings for work.
Yeah. That would be a very unfortunate one.
Yeah. Goddamn. No, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. Yo, Matthew. What's this shit I hear about you being banned from the U.S. military gaming Discord?
Okay. So, I mean, I guess now I'm just collecting them because this is my second ban. But I found out you can just go and join the U.S. Army Esports Discord.
Oh shit.
And I went and I messaged a bunch of admins, a bunch of nonsense, just like asking them to do busy work for me with credentials that aren't active U.S. military. I have no idea if they looked into it before banning me at all. Right. And then I asked them about the war crimes, and I was kicked and banned.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you went out of your way to like find like actual military names or people who were in the military or some shit?
No. I just was like, hey, I want to connect my account to like my service number and get the flare or whatever. I don't know. I just like put in a bunch of requests for shit.
And then you asked about war crimes.
Yeah, before I got banned. So hopefully they looked into it.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, man. I was gonna ask something. Okay, so what does the U.S. military esports Discord like entail? Like, do the U.S. military have their own like esports teams for different games or some shit? I don't,
No idea actually. I think it's I think the U.S. Army does have like a team for League of Legends and stuff. It's like branded.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I wasn't there too long.
No, right. I wonder how many people go in and do that shit. That's really fucking fun.
I was inspired by an image. I was also messaging the Navy earlier. You saw
earlier today? I don't.
No, Owen sent a picture of someone of like the contact for Navy recruitment. So
to see if you're interested in the Navy.
Right? Yeah, so I sent them a shitty meme.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It was very, very entertaining content that you and Owen have been sending to the group chat. Shout out to Owen, by the way.
I do have to say, I'm soaking wet because I had to walk home because Daniel didn't come pick me up from the store, even though he said he would.
Yeah, sorry. I got caught up in my business, man. You know how it goes.
No, I don't.
It was that I was like, how much later was I than the intended time? Was I like 2 hours late?
I don't know. I had to leave. I just had to walk home in the rain.
Oh, you ended up walking. Oh, right. You did say that you ended up walking home. Yeah, that's not bad. It won't
How do you think I got there? You think I just teleported? You never,
right?
To my knowledge, even went there.
No. It won't happen again, dog. People who listen to the pod, all our Patreons and everything, can hold me accountable to that.
All right. Well, We'll see about that. I don't know if I'll ask again.
Hopefully, you won't get sick, dog.
I'm asking Owen next time.
I thought Owen died though during camping. Wasn't he like mauled by a bear or something?
He was mauled by a bear, but someone's using his phone to message me on WhatsApp. So,
oh shit!
You don't automatically die if you run into a bear.
Right.
You know, it's bad.
It's not good news, but you can.
No.
Cool, man. Yeah. Sorry about the wet walk. What else is going on in your life besides that?
I'm playing Yokai Watch, which I feel like I should talk about.
Why, dude? What compelled you to play that shit? Is it actually any good?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But everyone, at least my knowledge is like most people's knowledge of Yokai Watch is like that Pokemon ripoff thing or whatever.
I wasn't gonna go ahead and call it that because I'm sure it's got its own like spin on things, but that's kind of what I associated with too. You know what
I mean? Right. I didn't even know Nintendo made it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's odd that like the Pokemon company would be kind of like exclusive with Nintendo, pretty much like a second party, but then Nintendo would also go ahead and make Yokai Watch stuff. Isn't it? A little odd?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just because. Well, so this is for like 5-year-olds or whatever, and it shows. That's why I'm playing it because I can read it in Japanese, and
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
um, that's pretty much the only reason. The game itself isn't. I mean, I've like missed some instructions or something, but it seems like it just like auto battles or whatever. Like you just like let them go and then you can pause it and like heal them if they need healing or whatever, but you don't like choose moves like Pokemon to my knowledge. But it is cool that it's like in the real world for once.
Okay.
And no one else can see them except you. It's just like normal Japan, which is kind of refreshing because in Pokemon, you can't find an NPC whose dialogue isn't about Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're all like poor. It's all like stupid garbage, honestly.
I was
like,
just gonna
all the
say.
dialogue.
I was just gonna. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's usually a bunch of bullshit. Like, isn't there just one dude who's like, "Hey, I have a girlfriend," and then he just go into a battle or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yokai Watch, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of cute. I'm playing the second one because it was easier to find, and I don't know if there's like a continuity between the games or whatever, but
Right.
I don't care. I'm sure the story's stupid. It's for kids,
Right.
and that's fine. I don't know. I guess I don't really like that it's dumbed down because, like Pokemon, I beat when I was a stupid kid, and I like didn't know how the moves worked. I could just like figure it out, like you know, even if I didn't really like understand the stats or whatever. But then when you're a little older, it's like cooler that there's some thought in it.
Some more depth, right?
Yeah, but if it's just like no thought for kids, then no one but kids will ever play it.
You entirely limit your audience to people of a certain age, right? Like little kids.
Yeah, which I get. I don't know. It's okay.
Is there a show about Yokai Watch? Do you know about this?
There is an anime. I don't know if it came first.
Okay. Just curious if you, because I thought I heard about it.
Maybe there's even a comic. I don't really know.
Manga.
Maybe Nintendo just bought it from someone.
I will say that is interesting, dude. That I don't know, like for like language acquisition, some people would read like a little book, or some people would like listen to music, or watch a TV show or whatever. I think it's a cool way to like find a game that catches your attention in some way or another, and then like play that. You know what I mean? And I think the fact that you want to put like a game like Yokai Watch that is like designed for kids and whatever, very very interesting. I don't think I'd ever heard of anyone like going out of their way to find a game specifically to like practice a language for acquisition.
I started playing Pokemon and I can do it, but it's fucking hard. It's really hard, dude.
Like the language that they use is just hard for you.
Yeah,
because it's very Pokemon specific, as you say, right?
Yeah, the thing about Yokai Watch is you play as a child, so people speak to you as if you had the comprehension and reading level of a child, which is kind of what I do.
Right.
So it's actually excellent. But like when in Pokemon, you're like a teenager when you would have like pretty adult language skill or whatever.
Right. More developed language skill, anyhow.
Also, Pokemon will just throw in like weird words or whatever,
Like weird words specific to like the Pokemon world and whatever.
Yeah.
That won't really like translate to anything or whatever. Yeah. How did you land upon Yokai Watch? You like have it recommended, or you just like that's maybe be a game that I can practice with?
Yeah, I think I just looked up games that were like simple in Japanese, I guess, for children, and that was one of the ones.
Very cool, dude. Very very cool.
I hope I can graduate to something more fun later.
Yeah.
It's okay, but
fair. So I'm just intrigued by this Yokai Watch shit because you say it's in the real world, right, and whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you? You said you're a trainer. What do you train? Like creatures?
Yeah, the yokai, they're like Japanese mythology ghosts or spirits or whatever.
Ghost or spirit, okay.
They all like have their own little legend or that they're based on, which is kind of like Pokemon with the animals, I guess.
Right.
You like fight evil, not like other trainers. You like stop the villains.
Whenever I heard the title Yokai Watch, I assumed it was something to do with like they all have like watches or some shit, kind of like in Digimon. Is kind of what I assumed. Because I know nothing. All I've heard is like the title of the game, and
I think it's I don't know if it's like supposed to be a pun in English. I don't think it is in Japanese, but like they're in like a watch.
They're in a watch.
That's like your Pokemon party is like a pocket watch. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I get it. I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's just that they're literally in like a watch, but maybe also it's supposed to be like that you're watching out for them.
Right. Okay. Yeah, damn, dude. Very, very cool that you're doing that to practice your language acquisition. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think I've been playing anything necessarily new. I did. I was gonna bring this up last time, but then we got caught up talking about a lot of other shit with Cameron. I did purchase the Mega Man ZX collection a while ago for the Switch, and I attempted to play the very first one, right, Mega Man Zero, which originally came out for the Game Boy Advance. The okay, so visually it's really cool, right? Like the graphics, the sprite work and stuff is like it looks really good for a Game Boy Advance game, I would say. I think most Mega Man games from like the Super Nintendo on, like their sprite work and sprite animation is just wild, right? I love it. I wasn't able to hear much of the music because it was pouring that night, unfortunately, so I couldn't quite hear it. It's weird though, because it's not, at least so far. I've maybe put in like 40 minutes into it, if that. It doesn't seem to be level based. Like I did the introduction level, and that seems to be like the one level, right? Like the very very like introduction tutorial type level or whatever. And then you're taken to like a hub, and in the hub, the girl that's with you, I forget what her name is. I'm not sure if it's Roll. I don't think it's Roll. I think it's someone else. But they send you to like, hey, yeah, you need to go fight this dude, and so you just like leave the hub and walk towards the right a little bit, and then you just find one of like the bosses or whatever, right? And I'm just like, all right, you don't have like a weakness weapon against them or anything like that, and it was fucking hard. I was never able to beat it. Granted, I didn't try too hard. Like I attempted it maybe like 4 or 5 times tops, but I could never beat it. And it's like a timer, right? Like you're fighting the boss, but then like the platform that you're on fighting the boss is like coming down onto some other like friendly robots or whatever, and they're gonna get crushed. So it seems really
at
hard.
least there's a reason, I guess.
Yeah, no, like it's definitely interesting. It's just not like any other Mega Man game I've ever played, And like like fucking Mega Man Battle Network, like that's one thing, right? Because that takes place in like a whole different universe and whatever. So you don't expect it to be.
It's like a spin-off.
Right. You don't expect it to be wildly different from like the core Mega Man game, but this one, like it still is a 2D side-scrolling platformer or whatever. But like so far, like in terms of like its structure and design and whatever, it seems pretty different so far.
Right. Does that collection include the weird 3D ones as well, or any of them, or anything like that?
No, dude. I forget how many Mega Man Zero games there are for the Game Boy Advance. I think there's 3 or 4, and then there's 2 ZX games on the DS, right?
Right.
So there's like 5 or 6 games on there, but it's only the Zero games for the Game Boy Advance and the ZX games for the DS that's on there.
The ZX one I played was it was level based for about 5 levels, and then I got to pick between 4 levels, and it was like this weird hybrid. I don't really know why they did it like that.
Yeah, it's quite odd. I have heard that they're good though. Maybe I'm just like really used to like the old. Yeah. I'm just super used to like the structure of like the other, classic Mega Man games and whatever. But of course, I plan to go back into it. And of course, I guess I'll have to do a little research on how to like most effectively kill this guy, because I thought it was really fucking hard. Especially because I didn't have any. I didn't, like you don't have like a weakness weapon or anything. Maybe I just didn't find it, or maybe you can find it. I don't know. I'll do a little bit of research, but that's what I attempted to play a couple like last week. I will say this though, I started, I picked Darksiders up again yesterday because that's one of the games that I leave and then come back to, and then leave and then come back to, which is very weird. I don't mean that to say that it's a bad game, because it's not. I love it, right? I think it's really cool. But I just think just my own personal preference. I don't, I found that like I don't really have much of a thing for 3D games anymore, like big 3D games anymore. Like I like them, but like I'll always prefer to play like more classic 2D games. So that's why I think I can only take so much of it at a time. But it's really cool, man. So wherever I left off right before you get like this portal power up. And so that's why I messaged you like at midnight yesterday saying that Darksiders out of nowhere just becomes Portal.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, because you get like a power up, and of course it's not nearly as like nuanced. Again, I've never played Portal, but I've heard that's like a really clever
Portal's
game.
super good.
Yeah, I've heard, and this is not as nuanced in the sense that you can't open a portal anywhere, right? You can like there's specific platforms that you shoot to create a portal, right?
Right.
So it's a little bit more streamlined, but the puzzles still are pretty interesting, I would say. Especially because you can you can like power up a portal. So like when you jump into it, you'll hop out of the other end of the portal with a specific amount of like speed. You know what I mean? So like maybe there's like a platform that you need to reach, so you need to like charge the portal, so you make sure that you jump out of it with like a certain amount of speed, so you can actually reach it. You know? So I'll probably be playing more of that shit later today because I do think it's really cool. But what I did want to touch upon is that I don't remember if I talked about Darksiders Genesis on the show before, man. Do you have any recollection of this?
That sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. Okay, then I won't go too deep into it, but it just reminded me because the portal thing is a thing and is a power up in Darksiders Genesis as well. You get that power up at some point in the game, and I think those puzzles are really cool. And it just reminded me of Darksiders Genesis. And goddamn, dude, I gotta say, Darksiders Genesis is one of the best times I've had with a video game in a long, long time. And it's so much fun that I beat it in like a week, right? And that's not. I don't usually beat games in like a week. You know what I mean? It usually takes me a lot more time.
Yeah.
But I was really into that, and I thought it was really fun. And I guess I just wanted to recommend that once again. If we have any new listeners who haven't really like dug into like our older episodes, because I played this back in like March or something, Darksiders Genesis. I mean, so like if there's anyone who hasn't like caught up with those episodes. Darksiders Genesis is fucking good. I played it on Switch. It is a little janky on Switch. I think it may perform better on consoles or PC. I think reviews do say that. But regardless, it is a really, really good game, and it is co-op, right? Because it's like isometric, and you could play co-op, and it's a really, really good time. I'd recommend it to anyone, anytime.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You don't see a lot of co-op these days, honestly.
Yeah. Right. I haven't been able to try a co-op because my other buddy, the only other person that I know who plays Darksiders games, who actually introduced me to the series, he plays them on PC, and I got it on Switch, right? Because
it was online co-op. I assumed it was local.
You do get local co-op, but you can also do online co-op.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Super, super cool.
It's like Cam always says, Darksiders Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Right, exactly. Because it's basically just like, you know, how you would play Diablo 3, right? Diablo 3 has both couch co-op and kind of like the same kind of game, except it's not really like a hard RPG like that. It does have its elements, as in like you get power-ups and you do get stronger and whatever, but like it's not like level-based shit like that. You have like a certain amount of gear that you use throughout the entire game and whatnot, you know. So yeah, that is my recommendation.
Yeah, nice.
For the week, dude.
I guess my conclusion is my anti-recommendation. Don't play Yokai Watch unless you're like unless you're learning a language. I guess I think it's in every language, so you could probably get away with, you know, like French or whatever, and it would still be pretty readable.
Oh, right. Or I guess if you are like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, no. Also, if you're a young child, especially in Japan, you'll love it.
Right. Do you get any kind of like statistics, like what kind of age group listens to us or shit like that, dude? At all?
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, it's almost exclusively. I forget like the bracket, but it's like 17 to 25 or whatever. It's like almost exclusively. And then there's like one listener like in the 50 plus.
Oh God,
may or may not be lying about their age. Like it might just be Spencer.
Yeah, like so how you like created an email address, like when you're young kid and you just put whatever age so you can. Yeah. So you're allowed to create the email address. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, dude, cool. You know what grinds my gears, dog?
What grinds your gear?
You know toilet paper, right? You've used it before.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah. So you know how like I would assume most kinds of toilet paper they have like these dotted lines where you like cut out like.
It's perforated.
Right? It's perforated, right? So you can cut out the little squares, right? So you can use like a certain amount, however much. So what really grinds my gears is when the perforated line doesn't perforate all the way through. You know what I mean? Like it's only perforated like halfway through like the actual paper.
Right. It was like an error.
Yeah, there's like an error, and so you'll try to rip the square off, but then it'll rip all fucked up because you don't have the perforated line.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it'll just be like
scissors.
Yeah, you'll rip like half of it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's an issue that I'm having with the current roll of toilet paper that's in my bathroom, and it happens every time.
You should just put scissors on the tank.
Yeah, so that I can just like rip it cleanly, right? I just keep forgetting because it's something that like I know that I'm aware of, but it's not something that I'm thinking about the entire day.
Well, maybe
you know what I mean?
I don't know. You probably have used it, but I was gonna say you'll listen back to this and
Right,
you'll think
and then
of
I'll
it.
remember. I'll remember to
But you
put
probably
it
have
to
used it.
right, right. Yeah, I am almost through. I am almost. I have worked almost entirely through that role.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, yeah. So I won't. Hopefully, I won't have to deal with that bullshit anytime soon. But I don't know. Have you ever had this experience, though?
Maybe like I've definitely had toilet paper not ripped cleanly, but it might have just been my fault.
Because I know someone like
I've never gotten a whole roll that's defective. I don't think.
yeah, it happens quite often. I don't know if it's like the brand that we get here at the house. They just every so
Mhm.
often. I'm not, when I say quite often, I don't mean like it happens every time, but like it does happen often enough that I like notice.
Right.
I do know that there are like some kind of like industrial type toilet paper that's just like cheaper for like to have at like public buildings and whatever. That's not even perforated at all. Sometimes so you just literally just have to like rip it apart, and that's one thing,
Yeah.
right? But the kind that we get here is supposed to be perforated. You know what else grinds my gears when because I'm gonna sound really like first world problem here, and I apologize, but
Right.
considering everything that's going on in the world, but you know how you've used double ply before, right?
Yes.
Has it ever happened to you that like the top ply is not really like aligned with the bottom ply?
Oh, yeah.
So the
It's
perforated
like coming
line.
apart.
Yeah, yeah, and the perforated line will be like all fucked up, right? Because it's not aligned. So like the bottom ply will like be jutting out from one side, and the top ply will be
Right.
jutting out from the other side. That
Yeah.
it doesn't like impede the toilet paper itself from like doing its job. You know what I mean? But it's just like I just I just think to
It's also
myself,
like
I wish this wasn't like this.
yeah. It's also like fancier toilet paper. It should be nicer, but I feel like it's harder to use.
Yeah, right. Like if you're buying double ply, you're usually spending more money than what you would be spending for single ply, right? So you
Yeah.
would expect it to like be defective as often as the kind of toilet paper that we get here at the houses.
Right. Dude, when I was at my grandparents' house and they had lavender scented toilet paper. It was
No
crazy.
way, dog.
Yeah. I
I
bet
don't,
it's
I don't, I don't,
expensive.
I don't think I'd ever even heard about scented toilet paper in
I
my
had
life.
never either. It smelled really good after I finished though. So I guess it just keeps the bathroom smelling nice.
Right, right. Have you ever used that shit called poopery or whatever?
No, what is that?
It's like a little spray thing that you're supposed to like spray onto the toilet water before you go.
No.
Right? And so then you'll go, but then it won't really smell because like it's like very citrusy smelling. I think there's got to be varieties, but like the kind that I've used before, I got it as a gag gift, but I figured since I had it, I might as well use it.
Yeah. Did it work?
So yeah, it was. I mean, it won't neutralize the odors entirely, right? God damn, I take some potent shit, but it does smell nice and citrusy. It does help a little bit.
I feel like you get like air freshener though. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the idea with this one is that like it can like carry it with you. You know what I mean? So like if you go to
I guess so.
you're like if you go to like a friend's house or like a significant other's house or whatever, you can like carry it in your bag or in your pocket. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
but then it's no longer your problem if you bomb the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's also fair.
If we're talking about petty stuff that bothers us, I mentioned this to you, but I hate in Fall Guys. There's a game called DoorDash and a game called Gate Crash.
Oh
And
yeah,
these are fine names, but the game where you crash through a series of gates, like you have to find which ones are fake by jumping into them, by crashing into them, is called DoorDash. And the game where you have to jump through a series of moving doors that are opening and closing and you have to time it right is called Gate Crash.
Yeah, dude. I will say that is some bullshit.
It should just be swapped.
Yeah, because it makes sense because you're crashing onto the doors to find out which is the one. And I think you're right because I think dash, you associate the connotation with the word dash is mostly about something about like speed and timing. And
Yeah,
whatever, right?
everyone's running, and there's even a big slippery hill at the bottom, and you dash down it and jump over
like a little gap,
a moving door. Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, I think you're right, man. Fucking Fall Guys developers, dude. If you're out there listening to this shit, man, get your shit.
Please
together.
just swap the names. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to swap the names.
Right. People probably won't even notice. So you can just
came out of beta,
and you can thank us later. You can thank Matthew Peterson later.
I'm probably the only other person who even is bothered by it, honestly. Like, I don't think people even like know the names of the...
Yeah, I will say this. I don't think I've noticed it, but ever since you brought it up, man, I can't. This shit has, like kept me up at night. Honestly.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's all
But
right.
yeah, that's it. That's all I thought of that bothers me.
Have you been watching anything, dog?
I'm watching Hunter x Hunter again, which
Okay.
is classic, all time greatest anime.
You hold that still?
Uh, I don't know. It's unfinished, so it's hard to say that, but
Oh,
it's definitely my
right.
favorite.
Gotcha.
People will probably enjoy Full Metal Alchemist more because it ends.
Right. I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah,
Like once the show and like a story arc and whatever is like concluded, you get like some kind of appreciation for it. You know, like a different
yeah.
kind of appreciation. Were you watching JoJo? You mentioned in the group chat something
No,
about JoJo.
Owen sent a meme that I didn't get, and I said I
Oh,
don't get this, and then he sent a reaction picture of JoJo's, so I
oh,
assumed the meme was of
right.
JoJo's, and I was like, I don't know what this, I don't like JoJo's,
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
he said, yeah, it sucks right now, it's not any good. I was like, okay, then why would I know about it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had no idea. I just assumed you had been watching it because I didn't. Clearly, I didn't understand the memes either. So
Yeah, no,
I
that's fine. Owen will just send memes that I know you don't understand, and I only like kind of understand. And
yeah.
he's like the only person in the group sometimes who knows what he's talking about.
That seems to be happening more often than you.
Right.
Should we check on Owen? Do you think you would have an intervention with him? Not on the show, just like in general.
Yeah, just in general. Yeah, probably.
For all of our listeners out there, like, comment, and subscribe. Do you think we should have an intervention with our friend Owen,
Yeah.
making sure that he's all right?
A meme intervention.
Dude, I've been watching Cobra Kai. Did I talk?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know what Cobra Kai is?
Oh, you did say you were like, this is surprisingly good, which was surprising because I was just assuming it would be ass.
Yeah, especially because it ran on like YouTube Red, which nothing runs in YouTube Red originally. Right? Like I don't
Yeah, I
even.
don't think anyone likes shows on YouTube Red, to be honest.
Yeah, right. But this shit is really good. Okay, so I will say, okay, I'll just say this. You know, I am a very big fan of the original Karate Kid movie. I think is really good. It's one of my favorite ones. Um, and of course, you know, the show does rely on references to the original movie, right? Because of course, it's all the same
Yeah.
characters and shit like that. But beyond, like, I don't think those are like essential to understanding or to like even enjoying the Cobra Kai show. You know what I mean? Like, I think the show does a lot to hold up on its own. You know, to stand on its own, without like the nostalgia for the original movies and whatever. You know, which I think is surprising. And I will say this: there is a lot of that sort of like last guy standing type humor. You know, like with the older dude who was like conservative and he doesn't want kids talking to him about like sexism and whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which you know, I think in the middle of 2020, in the latter end of 2020, that kind of humor may be a little bit overused. They feel a little bit overused. Um, I don't mind it, especially because I think it's played really well into like that character's like development, at least so far. You know what I mean? I think the show is fun. It's funny. It has great scenes, the pacing is really good too because it's only like 25 to 30 minute episodes. You know,
Yeah.
so you don't feel like you get a lot of like weird sort of filler fucking storylines or subplots in the show, right? Like it just moves along at a good pace. Like I sat down with my dad on Friday night and we binged through like five. We just blew through 5 episodes. The pacing is so good. The story is interesting. It's a good time, dog.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I don't have anything to recommend because if I'm watching something, I'm like, I might as well put it in Japanese. If
Right.
I'm already just here, not doing
Yeah.
anything,
Right.
because it's a good practice. I do. Yeah, I guess I've just been watching like YouTube mostly,
Yeah.
besides Hunter.
Um, do you think Neil Buchanan is Banksy?
No,
You've seen that there's like an internet conspiracy about that, right?
I didn't. I have no idea. I didn't know that
Yeah.
he was accused of it.
Right. I mean, I'm not. I think accused is a very strong word, but I think people are trying to like tie knots together, and
Right.
it seems that things are pointing towards Neil Buchanan being fucking Banksy.
I could never tell. You never know how much like validity a conspiracy theory has until you look
Right.
into it yourself. But then
Yeah, because
you
sometimes
like
they're just
then you have
memes,
to look
right?
into it yourself. Yeah,
Right. Sometimes
and
they're
it's
just
like,
memes.
it's often just like stupid, unfounded
Yeah.
shit, and it's a waste of time to even bother looking into it,
Right.
which is a shame.
It's funny because I remember Neil Buchanan. I don't know if I remember him because we've never had like an American Disney channel here or anything. And like the hosts for the Art Attack show that I would watch here were all like localized, right? They were all like Mexican dudes or Argentinian dudes
Right.
or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know why I know Neil Buchanan, but I do remember seeing him on my TV at some point growing up. I don't know what channel showed him. I don't remember if it was dubbed at all, or if it was just like original English when he was on the TV here. But I do remember him, and I remember his face and everything. But the art attack shows, the localized art attack shows here, they would always show the segment of Neil Buchanan making those like big portraits out of like random like tools. You know what I mean? They would show him doing those, like the original Neil Buchanan clips. Maybe that's why I know about him actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea about this conspiracy theory. I wonder if it's true.
That'd be fucking wild, man. Can you imagine? Because how old must Neil Buchanan be? These like fucking 60, 70?
50?
Is he still alive even?
I don't think people would be saying he's Banksy if he just died. I looked it up. Age 58 years old.
He's 50. I thought he would be a lot older. He's 58.
That's pretty old.
He's my dad's age. I don't know. I thought he would be older than like my dad. But yeah. I guess you're right. People won't really be saying that he is Banksy.
Yeah, everything comes up as like just articles about this conspiracy. Actually, now that I'm Googling him.
Right. Yeah.
He denies it.
But of course he would, man. Of course he would.
I guess if you started being anonymous in the first place, then you would, I guess. But maybe like once they caught you, just be like, all right, you got me.
Yeah, but he's also 58. He seems to have been staying.
Yeah, 58-year-olds always lie. You're right.
No, not. Well, that is true, and I do hold that. But what I meant to say is, like, he is 58, and like he seems to have kept mostly out of the spotlight for like the last 2 decades or some shit.
Yeah, I guess he's doing his own thing.
Right, like I would imagine that he wouldn't want all the attention of being fucking Banksy, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Also, then like the real Banksy might like do a art hit on you if you start taking credit.
Yeah. Might, like, right.
Mold your front door shut with wax or something.
Right.
I do like all the stupid gender reveal memes going around.
Oh God, those are. I mean,
it sucks that there's like a lot of wildfire going on because of these stupid people. But before this, like I didn't even know about all the other disastrous gender reveal things that had been going on before these people like did the worst one ever.
Oh yeah, like what? Do you have any examples?
Yeah, like some family, kind of the same thing. This guy was like, "I'm gonna make a device that explodes into blue smoke or whatever because it's a boy," and he just like makes it. So he just actually makes a pipe bomb and like
like at home,
members of the family, and he's
shit.
It's accidental domestic terrorism,
right?
And these people are just like buy a firework.
Did people fucking die?
Yeah.
No way, dog. You're shitting me.
I could look it up. But yeah, there's just like a lot of injury and destruction caused by people who just have a normal party. Like
I know, dude. God damn. Like, what is even the point of going all out with like fucking fires and fireworks and exploding devices and shit like that? You know what I mean? Like your baby won't even fucking know because they're not even here yet.
And then like your kid will be like, "Oh, my parents are the ones that burned down a quarter of California."
Yeah, like my uncle died because my parents were dumb when they threw a gender reveal party. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Okay, I don't want to just like read this person's obituary because it is sad. But this woman did die from the pipe bomb.
Also, can I just say that I don't really think I knew about gender reveal parties until before I moved.
Oh, really? You don't have it?
No, we do have baby showers.
Mm-hmm.
But by then, most people already just know what sex the baby is.
Right.
Whatever.
I think they're just like combined here. I don't go to baby showers, but I think if you have a gender reveal party, it's at the baby shower. It's like the same thing or whatever.
I guess the idea here is that like the baby shower is for bring like presents for your kid, for your the baby that's going to be born soon. So people just already tell them, it's going to be a girl, so you can like bring in like a little whatever girly things or whatever. yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like whereas if you don't know what gender or what sex your baby's going to be. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if people bring.
People can like bring diapers and whatever.
Yeah, I can bring one. But I guess all I meant to say is that right? There are baby showers, but there isn't really like a gender reveal party type deal. Where people here just say, "Yeah, it's going to be a girl," and then, you know.
Right. Yeah. There are normal baby showers.
Right.
My mom went to one all the way out west. Well, not like California West, but Midwest West, and she said that after it started, all the men there just like left, and they went to an axe throwing range.
What the fuck?
Axes. instead
That's
of
a
going to the
thing.
gender reveal party. Yeah, it's like a sport loosely,
I had no
like
idea, though.
archery or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I just didn't know it exists.
Yeah, I bet it's fun.
It must be quite like energy releasing, right? Throwing a
It's
fucking
like
axe at like a
extreme darts.
right. Yeah, right.
I maybe I would have gone if I knew there'd be axe throwing, but I was like, I don't want to go to a baby shower.
Yeah, yeah. I will say baby showers here have started to become gender inclusive, if you will, if you even want to call it that. Like, I guess what I mean to say by that is like, back when I was like a teenager or whatever, like at least here in like conservative Christian Honduras, whatever you want to call it, baby showers used to be almost exclusive for like girls, ladies, women, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, but now like recently, like I don't know, like they just like like men are also invited, and like the kinds of activities that you do at baby showers are just like silly, and they're not that anything is ever like gender exclusive or whatever, right? But like for 4 hour standards here, I guess, if you will, like they just do all kinds of like silly games and stuff that would not necessarily be associated with like women in our media.
Yeah, I guess that's part of why I wouldn't want to go to it, because it's like you think it's girly or whatever, but I also just don't want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've gone to one once when my brother's wife's sister was having a baby. But that's like the only time that I've ever partaken in one, and I was just there.
Maybe when I'm older and like, it's not like my distant relatives.
Right. Like, would you go to like fucking, I don't know, like fucking Spencer's
I'd go to,
baby shower?
Yeah, I'd go to. It depends if it's in California. I might not make that one, but
right.
It just, I'd go to one of it. It just depends how far it is.
Yeah. Shit, dude, I guess the last thing that I had, the Xbox prices were finally released, dude.
Yeah, right. It's what, $300 or something?
It's $300 for the one that doesn't have a disc drive and doesn't have like whatever like 8K capability or whatever bullshit like that. I don't know the specs. But then the one that does have a disc drive and is like more powerful one, I guess, is like 500.
Right. I only knew the price because I saw some dude saying my insulin costs more weekly than this $300 Xbox.
Shit, that's fucked up, man. Come on.
Imagine having to buy an Xbox every week to not die.
Yeah, right. Like insurance, just all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't really care about the next gen yet, at least.
I was just gonna ask you if you had even like considered anything. What you thought?
I don't know. Dude, current gen is fine.
Yeah, right.
I have a lot of stuff I can play.
Right.
And I have a PC.
Yeah. Oh, right. You do have a PC, which will pretty much like run everything that will come out.
Yeah. And I was talking to Jordan about this. There's the new, I think NVIDIA chip is like super, super cheap compared to how it used to be, and it's really, really quite powerful. It's like a really good time to start getting like building a PC if you really wanted to. Or I guess you could get a pre-built one with it in it. Right.
What do you mean cheap? I just have no concept.
It's still like $700 or whatever, but like
in comparison, it's a lot cheaper.
It's the whole graphics processor for your computer, and
pretty much like top of the line, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's the newest one.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, it's not bad.
And I don't need to upgrade right now, but it is it's cool that they're developing it, and it feels to me like the consoles are moving away from being consoles. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, being like entertainment systems or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, it has to update all the time, and you have to like update the games when you get it. Like, I feel like the console should just, you buy it and you put the game in, and maybe it has to download a little the first time, but you should just be able to play it, and it shouldn't like deny you access if it has to update or whatever. Because then it's just a shitty PC.
Yeah, exactly, and it doesn't do everything that. I do think you're right. Not that I'm interested in like acquiring any of the next gen consoles or whatever. I do think it's cool that like a new gen console will be launching at like $300, just being the Xbox Series S or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's nice and affordable.
Yeah, it's like accessible in comparison to like other gen release prices.
Right. It's good to see that the trend was only up, so it's good to see it's starting to go down.
Yeah, exactly. But the issue is that it doesn't even have like an optical disc drive, right? So like everything you'll have to play on it has to be digital. And like,
which means you're gonna have to pay for a hard drive anyways.
External, yeah, because how big are these games gonna fucking right? You have Call of Duty Warzone that like
Call of Duty
every 2
Warzone,
weeks
your
you
whole
need
tribe.
every 2 weeks you need to download like a fucking 2 terabyte update to even play that game. You know what I mean?
Awful.
So like yeah. So I don't know. I think you're right in that sense, right? Like you should, if physical media is still a thing, then why just not? I understand that like patching games is one thing, right? Because like if you release it and then like there's like a glitch that just breaks the game that you just couldn't find it for whatever reason during testing or whatever. Like I understand that it's cool that you can like patch it via internet, digitally, whatever. You know, I do see the utility in that. I don't like. No, I guess I can't say that I don't like it. I just think it's like, you know, having to buy external memory for games when like you can still buy the games. I think we talked about this in the pod previously, like maybe a couple episodes ago, right? How you can like buy a physical disc, but like it won't even matter because like most of the data to even play the game, you have to download it anyways as soon as you put the disc in. So what even is the fun? That's what I don't like, right? Like if you're gonna have physical media, then just let me fucking play off the physical media. You know what I mean?
And the downloads are for DLC, which is annoying. Like the way, I mean, this is just like one thing, but it is a Call of Duty game. I had one of the Call of Duty games, and I wanted to buy one of the zombies maps as a DLC, and I did, right? And then I download the map. Now it's like you download everything, and then you pay to even use the storage on your drive or whatever. And it's like, couldn't I just download this if I owned it?
Right. I hate that, man. I guess one example that I have, I think, I'm not even sure if this is accurate, but I think it is. I think the NBA 2K games on the Switch, you can buy it physical, but then again, you won't, like, as soon as you pop it in, you will have to like download like another additional like 10 gigs of like content before you can even fucking game. So that's what I mean. Like, what even is the case? My biggest issue, and I think we've touched upon this too in the past, and like I think the biggest issue that people have with digital, you know, doing the full transition into digital is like, if you run out of space and you decide to like archive one of your games, and for whatever reason, licensing issues or whatever bullshit, that game is taken off the store that you bought, the digital online store that you bought it off from, you're fucked and you can't never download it again. You know what I mean? That's and if you want to keep buying games because you want to have them, you know, because you want to own the game that you fucking paid for, you have to keep constantly buying like external memory to like hold all of them.
That's what I mean from like being an inferior PC too. Like something on Steam is like, if I want to play XCOM, I have to like download that shit all day to get all the XCOM files, and I don't have it because it takes up so much space. But if I had it on Xbox or whatever, then I'd be like, oh, let me pop in the XCOM disc. And I'm playing XCOM. It means you don't have to have everything downloaded at once, which is like the whole point and advantage of the console, I feel like.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I get that it's more affordable for people, but that's really just in the short term. You know, like you could just get if there's no difference between the console and the PC besides like the specs and the price, you could just get
and like
PC.
Exclusive games, I suppose.
And you could do other shit with your PC.
Right.
you can do your taxes or whatever.
You can edit a podcast, yeah.
It feels like a weird direction for it to go. I think Nintendo is doing okay with it the most.
Right. No, I would agree.
Which I hate to say because the Switch doesn't have Ethernet.
Yeah, right. No, I that's exactly what I was going to get into now. Like, I think if the Switch was a more powerful, I guess, more traditional console, like, you know, a console that you would just keep at home, I guess it wouldn't really be Nintendo or whatever, but, like, you know, I feel like there would be a more effort for it to be, like, more traditional, right? Like, I feel like if the cartridges had more space because the Switch could just handle more space, I feel like they would most likely, you know, be putting the entire games into the cartridge and shit like that.
Right.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but, I own Isaac on cartridge because it's relatively big, but like I have indie-ish games on digital because it's fine.
They are only on digital. A lot of the indie games are only.
Oh yeah, true. Some of them you can get like this stupid limited release or whatever. But Isaac is also digital. I just decided to buy it physically.
Right. I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
At a loss for words here.
Well, dude, I do have to say, although I enjoyed Spectre of Torment and the Curios were a lot of fun, they kind of ruined the game for me because they were too overpowered. So I'm going to have to give it a 3 out of 10.
I'm going to break your ass, dude. I'm going to break your ass.
I really like the way Celeste does it, where it's like, it has assist mode. So if you like suck or just like don't feel like stressing yourself out, you can like customize how many jumps and stuff you have. And like just enjoy the game at your own pace, but it's very clearly defined as like its own thing.
Right.
there is like a base difficulty that you can know is right. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like, well, I don't know how hard the game is or how good I'm at it, so I just have to guess at the beginning. You know?
Right, right. And no, and I do think it's interesting. I think I saw a video, and it was either Design Doc or the Game Maker's Toolkit. One of those. I'm sorry, I can't remember which one. That talked like precisely about this issue, right? Like how games are handling like difficulty option these days. And what they say is that, like, a lot of games will tell you, right, like this game was designed and is intended to be played at this difficulty, whatever you want to call it, normal or whatever. But we understand that games should be. They'll say this in the message, right? It was intended to be played at this difficulty, but we understand that games should be accessible to everyone and whatever.
Right.
So we are allowing you to adjust difficulty in this or that way. I think even War Group does that, right? It has a lot of very specific like difficulty choices. Like on top of just like hard, regular, medium, is like how much health you have or how much health your enemies have.
Yeah, and like how much damage you do relative and like crit variation and stuff or whatever.
Yeah. So like even you can adjust the difficulty level to whatever you want to do, right? Not just have like hard, medium, easy or whatever, which I think is really because I think, and it's also, you know, like as much as I do like to play games, even at the age that I'm at, I feel like the older that I get, like the less patience I have for games. Even though like I do want to play them and I do think they're good and whatever, like I think this is the issue that I'm having with Breath of the Wild, right? Which I've progressively been talking about in the show. That like I do think that I won't ever say that the game is bad, but like it's just so big, and like to go to your objective, you have to like figure it out, right? You have to like go up this mountain. Oh, that's not the right mountain. I can't get objective from here. I have to go all the way back, whatever. I feel like I just don't have the patience for that shit anymore. Just makes me not want to play it anymore. Whereas I feel like if Breath of the Wild had an option, it was like, all right, if you want to go to your objective, this is the ideal way to go. All right, cool. I would just do that.
Like a GPS.
Yeah, exactly. I would totally, and maybe it does have it. Maybe I just don't even know about it. But like, I would totally do that. I honestly, you know, at least right now, where I am in my life, I feel like I don't have the patience to just like do trial and error like that in such a big game. Right? Cuphead is one thing because the game is little and short and sweet. But like Breath of the Wild is so massive that I just don't want to deal with all the trial and error because it will just take forever.
Well, I feel like the spirit is to ignore. This is how I felt. Just ignore anything and just go, and you'll eventually run into a bunch of stuff just like going around, and you'll eventually somehow like drift over to where you were supposed to go in the first place. This is kind of how I played it.
Right.
I was never like, oh, I didn't get to where I was going because I was just wandering.
Right. Yeah, I do have a lot of commentary. Not a lot, but a couple of why I think I'm having such a hard time with Breath of the Wild. But I guess I'll bring that up on a subsequent episode.
I will say I hadn't played Okami in a bit for some reason, and I was like, oh, it feels like a chore. I gotta like go start the next quest and whatever. But then I started playing it, and I was like really enjoying it. And I was like, damn, I wonder what happens next. I don't know. It's so weird that when I'm playing it, I'm like, this is awesome, but I'm not. I'm like, why would I play that?
Yeah.
It just like rewards you a lot with like small stuff.
That's exactly how I feel about a lot of these big 3D games. Like I said, right? Like with Darksiders, like I had to like think long and hard where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit and play Darksiders now. But once I'm actually playing it, I'm like, this shit is fucking rules. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, what the hell did you learn today?
I learned about Yokai Watch. I'd always known about its existence. Like I'd always known it existed, but I just never really understood or knew what it consisted of.
Yeah, I feel like most people don't.
Yeah, very, very informative bit there, Matthew. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's see. I learned that Darksiders is actually Portal.
Right, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, I learned what you meant when you messaged me at midnight because I woke up the next day and it's like, what is Daniel saying? And I just never answered.
Yeah, I meant to leave it ambiguous.
All right, yeah, that was a good time. Be sure to tune in next week where Sean Roy names all original 151 Pokemon in alphabetical order, backwards.
Oh, right, yeah. Right. I forgot that contractually to be on the show again.
And he does. That'll be a spectacle. I don't know how he's going to pull it off.
Yeah. Matthew Peterson, it's been a wonderful time, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, see you. Oh, wait, hold on, dude. I want to. At the time of this recording, it is National Children's Day here in Honduras. So, for all the children out there listening to the show, have a wonderful Children's Day. I hope you had a wonderful Children's Day, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because it won't be Children's Day by the time this goes out.
Yeah. It is Gator Wednesday, though.
Oh, right, you're right. So happy Gator Wednesday too.
Happy Gator Wednesday.
No, it's not Gator Wednesday. It's Thursday, dog.
When this episode goes out, you fool.
Oh, right. God damn, you're right.
What I was going to say was I forgot to talk about this last time. Bored and Browsing, Danny's podcast. He was on a couple of weeks ago now.
Oh, yeah.
A little while
yeah.
ago. Bored and Browsing, they have some very cool voice actor guests. So I felt like I should just mention that you should go check them out because it is pretty cool that they got them to come on the show.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to spoil who it is.
We'll make sure to drop a link for that episode on the description of the Spotify. Yeah.
All right.
All right, dog.
Well, yeah. Thank you for being here, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you, dog, and thank you everyone who's listening. Hope you had a good time.
I'll see you next time.
Peace.